Hello, and welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on WJOP Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. A happy Thursday afternoon to everybody on a what has turned into a snowy Thursday afternoon here in Newburyport. As I look out the window here, snow is really coming down out there. So the 70-degree weather, hello and goodbye from yesterday. But that will be here in a more regular form, not too far away. You could get a little taste of spring yesterday, and now here is snow less than 24 hours afterwards. Pretty typical of New England weather, right? We know what we sign up for when we live here. But hope you're all having a good afternoon. Last show of the week here, we had a great guest on Tuesday. We coached Dave Clay of Newburyport. He's got his boys going to the basketball tournament here, learning their seedings earlier this morning. We'll talk more about that later. Nice little payoff also today on the Newburyport hockey side. We're going to have Coach Paul Yameen in the house today. I'm very excited. He's always one of my favorite radio guests. Coach Paul Yameen, and he's really doing a good job for us. He's literally at the rink right now. He just got off. He texted me. He'll be here in a couple minutes. He's getting off the ice and flying right here for us so we can have a little conversation. So pretty cool of Coach Yameen. We are all excited about that. He's got his Newburyport Clippers hockey squad going to the state tournament as well. So we'll kind of get you ready for that, and gets exciting here. You get mid-February, the March Madness about to kick in on both the basketball and hockey front, and always a very exciting time of year for the kids. Coach Yameen, always very good about answering questions pretty directly. Good opportunity if anybody wants to jump in on the Twitter here and ask him some questions as well. So I'll open that up to you guys during the show here. And again, hello to everybody streaming as well back home if you're watching on the television. Thank you to David Kramer, too, helping us out there, doing the producing on the TV side. So David does a great job. Sometimes I forget to mention his name, so I'll do it right off the bat here. David Kramer, the producer on the TV side. So yeah, don't forget, at Joppa Afternoons is the Twitter handle. If you have any questions for Coach Yameen, let me know. Send them this way. Again, at Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. There's the thing right there. Get the phone right here. Send any questions in that you want asked or answered, and we will try to do it. I'll keep an eye on it during the show here. With the help of our new producer of the day today, you'll be hearing some new names, of course, as we go through the year, and we've had some great help with Lily Dessette so far. This is Elias Campanella Garcia. He's helping us out today. Producer of the day. Elias, want to give a wave in the background there? There he is. See, there he is. We'll get to meet him as we go as well, and we'll talk a little bit about him. Elias Campanella Garcia. A name that just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? we practiced beforehand, so we're okay. So at Joppa Afternoons is the Twitter handle. Couple things we're going to talk about real quickly here as we await our first guest, Coach Paul Yameen of Newburyport Hockey. What a hockey game it was last night. Congratulations to the U.S. women's hockey team, captained by Megan Duggan of Danvers, friend of mine, grew up with her, played some Little League ball with her, just very, very proud. Unbelievable game. Finally, they got that gold medal after 20 years. U.S. women won it in 1998, and then it has been all Canada in the Olympics since then, including a heartbreaker last year. United States blowing a 2-goal lead with a couple minutes left, hit an empty net post, and it was just a heartbreaking loss last year for the U.S. women. And then last night, U.S. down a goal late, couple minutes to play, 4 minutes left. They get the equalizer to send it to overtime. One of the more dramatic 20 minutes of overtime you'll ever see. Back and forth action, 4-on-4. Nobody scores, so it actually has to end in kind of a tough way. Everybody was kind of cringing that it has to end in a shootout, but Team USA prevails in dramatic fashion. It went to a 6th round of a shootout, so pretty much overtime on the shootout side too. U.S. gets a beautiful goal from the Lamoureux girl, and then a big-time save from the 20-year-old goaltender there, and just an unbelievable story. Congratulations to Team USA getting a big win last night. It was, I'll be honest with you, I actually really wanted to watch it. My hours for my work at the WBZ radio station start very early, so I was able to set an alarm, get up early, and watch some hockey before work, which was kind of a unique experience. But I will say it seemed like quite a bit of the nation was wide awake watching that hockey game last night. So that is what's cool about the Olympics, right? That's what it's all about. You get people people at strange hours awake and drinking coffee and watching hockey and then walking into work all sleepy-eyed and all that stuff. So congratulations to the American women, though. An unbelievable story. And gold medals coming back to this neck of the woods. It's amazing how well represented the New England is on that hockey team. You got Megan Duggan, the captain, but she's not the only one. There's like several, like there were 5 or 6 Boston College players, a few other people from Massachusetts. Just really, really cool, and that's what the Olympics is all about. Even Team Canada had some local connections. The girls star Poulin there for Team Canada played at Boston University, so it is certainly a hockey region. If you didn't know that already, you can really tell by the Olympics and how much New England flavor there is. So very, very cool game last night, though. That was fun to watch, and congratulations to the U.S. women. Final weekend of the Olympics here, for those of you who are into that sort of thing. Closing ceremonies Sunday night, so soak it in. We got the men's hockey tournament finishing up here in the next couple days, and Lindsey Vonn, her Olympics ended. That was kind of cool. She got the bronze in one of her events the other day, coming off that horrible knee injury and the surgery, and it was a nice comeback for her to get the bronze medal. She got kind of teary-eyed too, accepting the bronze, and said it meant just as much as one of her old gold medals. So that was cool to see a Lindsey Vonn, and the cross-country ski team too. That was another great story out of the Olympics. Did you see that finish where the U.S. won their first ever gold for women's ski team cross-country? And it was like the most dramatic call. The announcers were screaming as the U.S. stormed back and came from behind to win the gold medal. A complete surprise. So there's been a lot of great headlines from South Korea at the Olympics, and last night with the U.S. women's hockey team was just kind of the capper on that. So, again, we got Coach Paul Yameen of Newburyport Hockey coming in here in just a moment. Let's do this. I'll get out of the way here for a minute. We'll wait on Coach Yameen. He should be here when we get back, and if not, we'll stall for a couple minutes for him. But the coach is on his way right off the rink. He's hustling over. He's a good man to do it for us and make some time for us. So we got a lot to talk about with Coach Paul Yameen. So keep it here. Again, my name is Drew Moholland. We do it every Tuesday and Thursday here on WJOP Radio. Afternoon Drive with Drew Moholland. So thank you for being on board. Last show of the week should be a good one with Coach Paul Yameen. Keep it here. We'll be right back. All right, hello, and welcome on back to Afternoon Drive with Drew Moholland. This is WJOP Radio, and here we go. Finally have the man himself in studio here after, I don't know, Coach Yameen, what do you think? I've probably asked you, 25 times if you're practicing at the same time here over the last couple months, and yes, Drew, we are still practicing at the same time, which unfortunately happens at the same time of our show. So it's been tough to get you on, but we're great to have you. Coach Paul Yameen of the Newburyport Clippers. How are you, Coach?
Very well. Thank you for having me, Drew. I'm not avoiding you. We practice at 3 every day.
I understand. Yeah, I did a little investigative work myself, and I realized it was all true.
Yeah.
No. What a season, Coach, you guys are having. I got to obviously got very close to the program over the last few years. Last year was kind of an odd year as far as it's very unusual that one of your teams does not go to the state tournament. I know that bugged you quite a bit, and now let's just say what a bounce back year. My goodness.
Yeah, I think a lot of our guys that were there last year, which was a majority of our team, had a bad taste in their mouth, and so they made a point of it to prepare for this season, and I think their hard work is paying off.
How about that goaltender you got? You kind of knew a breakout season might be coming for him. Talent had always been there, but Kenny Hodge has just been standing on his head all year for you, and must be really nice as a coach to know you have that rock back there.
Yeah, and just very happy for Kenny. Kenny's he's deserved everything. All the accolades he's received this year. He's worked very hard, and he's been our backbone, no doubt about it. Very consistent, and you have a consistent, confident goalie, it makes for a confident team.
Absolutely. We did the Triton game for the radio, which was, I know, late in the season for me to catch my first game in person, but there was a great atmosphere in that building that night. You guys coughed up a lead, got it back, and then it was back and forth for a little while. Yeah. It seems like this team this year, and one thing that stuck out with me, obviously you're talented. You got a lot of speed this year. You got some guys with some finish, which is nice. Seems to be not a change, but some guys that were struggling to put the puck in the net. Last time I saw them have found a way to find the back of the net. But what I really liked about your team was you gave up a lead, and maybe last year things get down, and maybe that 1 goal deficit turns into 2 or 3 real quickly. But your guys really grinded and battled back and really showed no panic, which I thought was really good.
Yeah, I think we've showed some resilience this year, and we've battled back this year more than once. And I think that's just a tribute to the character of these guys. So
absolutely, and that probably bodes well for tournament time too, because you get one bad call or something in a tournament game, and maybe give up a power play goal, or you're down 1-0, and you need that resiliency sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, we talked about that today. The importance of just being consistent and playing shift by shift, and a one game playoff. You know it. I know it. We've seen it for the past few years. A couple bad bounces. I think we've played well enough the past few years to win a tournament game. We just haven't won, and it's a 1-game playoff. So that stuff happens.
I mean, that's what you live for, I guess, as a coach, is to put yourself in that tournament and have the winner go home kind of thing laid out for you. But as a coach, though, there must be times. I mean, we watched a few of those tournament games and called a few for radio, and I remember I walked out of the building a few times going, if that's a best of 7, I'll take those guys any day of the week. Mm-hmm. But it's not. So the nature of the beast, one and done. It is a little. It's tough.
We've been on both sides of the fence there. I think we've won more than we've lost. We just haven't won in the past 5 or 6 years. We haven't won that game, and with the exception of Wilmington, I think about, we didn't play well in that game at all. We didn't deserve to win that game.
You were still in it late too.
Yeah, we lost 3-1. We were still in it, but we didn't play well.
Yeah.
With the exception of that game, I think about 4 or 5 past tournament games that we've played well enough to win. It's just it's the 1-game series, and we haven't got the bounces. So you're always as far as from my perspective, I obviously don't go in the locker room for the pregame talks and all that stuff, but I got to know you guys and the coaching staff very well, and I remember your athletic director at the beginning of this season said to me, look out for the hockey team this year. I think they got something there, and he goes, you got to see Coach Yameen too. I think you'll notice maybe something a little bit different. He's in a very good place. Not that he's always too intense, but he said for some reason he thought you were in a very good place with this team. Was that the case, or did you feel good about these guys going in, or what? I don't know that I'm ever in a good place for hockey season. Honestly, my wife says to me all the time, "You're never happy," and. I think when I'm happy and content, I think it's time to retire.
Yeah.
I think that I play a good bad guy role at times, and I think some of our guys need to hear that. So I'm happy for our team, very happy for we still have a lot to play for. There's a lot of big games. We have a big game tomorrow night against a very good Andover team that, it's a great tournament prep game for us, and they're a legit team, a big school. We're looking forward to it, and hopefully we can end the year on the right note. Yeah,
speaking about tournament prep, you just went through the Newburyport Bank tournament, which I know the initial design of that was to kind of get just a small little tournament play feel.
Yeah.
Try to win some hardware before the big tournament. You just went through that. Talk about the Newburyport Bank experience this year and how the boys did, all that stuff.
Yeah, well, we played St. Peter Marion in the opener round. They're struggling a little bit this year. They're a very young team, so we kind of had our way with them, but tomorrow night's game against Andover will be a test, and we watched them play against St. John's of Shrewsbury on Tuesday night, who's another very good team. It was a great high school hockey game, up and down the ice, and a lot of speed, a lot of skill out there. So we're gonna have to be at our best, and we relish that. This is what we want. We're a battle tested team. We've played a lot of good teams on the road in some very trying environments. You play in the Hines game, playing against St. John's Prep is hard enough as it is.
Yes.
And you go down there and play them in the Hines game, it's a total different ball game. We played them 3 years ago. It wasn't the Hines game, and it was a good battle. We lost a 1-goal game. You better be ready for this game, because they come out breathing fire. So
yeah.
It's good for us either way. Win or lose, it's good for us.
For those of you who do not know Coach Paul Yameen, one thing that when you have a team like he does that puts together a record, just a couple losses this year, whenever you see a team that has put together a good record like that, and it's a Coach Paul Yameen team, you know that it's a real solid record, because what did you guys end up with? What's the record right now? It's Is it 16-2 and
No.
Am I off? Wait.
Yeah, no. I think. Let me think here. We're 12.
Oh, because you got the ties too. That's
12,
right.
2 and 6.
12, 2 and 6. Right. I was adding the ties.
I mean, our 2 losses against 2 legit Franklin down there and St. John's down there. So
that's right. I forgot you had all the ties too. Those were in my head. But so I mean, you guys play everybody. Is where I'm going with this, though. I mean, you guys.
We try.
You take pride in making sure you play the St. John Preps of the world, the Franklins of the world, who are a massive public school as well.
Yes.
You like to torture yourself, obviously, a little bit, but what is the? I've talked to you about it before, but just for people who don't know, what's the mindset on that as far as running a program and just?
Well, that was our goal when we moved to Division I. We're not going to move to Division I not to play the best, and we established a little bit of a tradition here years ago with our Garden appearances, and we always tried to play Division I teams back then, but teams kind of shied away a little bit because that doesn't help them to lose to a Division II team. The way things are set up now for the Super 8. So, in order for us to play the best, we had to go Division I, and that was the plan from the get-go. We're not going to duck anybody, and that's what we're there for.
Absolutely, and that's got to make you feel good when you have this great record. You played great. You really had a great season here. You're going to get a good team in the state tournament, no matter who you get. There's no easy cupcakes there.
Right.
You got to feel pretty good though, knowing that. You've played everybody. You know?
I mean, again, in the environments we play in, we're a battle tested team. So I don't think we're going to be in awe of the tournament setting. We shouldn't be. We just played Masco last night, and they had a tribute for the Lafada kid that passed away. Unfortunately, passed away, and the emotion that was there it's hard for any team to play in that type of emotion that they were displaying for their former teammate, So I thought we handled that pretty well, and just makes us that much better for the tournament,
Absolutely, and that was a good game for us. Masco, I heard too. Not quite as strong a team as past years, I don't think, with Masco, but always a tough out, I guess.
Yeah, they got 10 wins. They're 10-5 and
going to the tournament
4 or something. They're a tournament team. They always play. They always give us their best, So
you get a lot of that, don't you?
Yeah, I think yes, and that's good. That's what we want. That means something. If when we play teams in our league, if we don't show up to play, we're not going to win. Everybody enjoys taking a crack at us, and that's. You want to be in that position. We relish that position.
Absolutely. Coach Paul Yameen, Newburyport Clippers Hockey, joining us. Coaching staff were always one of my favorite parts of you guys. I always said it was like you guys knew how to finish each other's sentences, and I know like half the team just walked into the studio here. Coach always trying to take the spotlight off himself here. He's got a bunch of players showing up, which is a good thing. That's great. We'll talk with these guys in a minute too, but. How the coaching staff, I always say, you guys are just one unit, it seems. Like, y'all keep each other in check. Jed Beauplant, Jeff Gadatis, Jeff Stone is not with you guys, but...
he is, but he's not physically. Not physically. But, technology today.
I love that you guys always say that. That's fantastic. Yeah. But he's on the West Coast. But you guys, it's like it's very fun to watch how you all kind of think the same way, but you're on the same page, but it's funny the different dynamic behind the bench. Give us a little insight on that. The boys behind the bench.
Well, we've been together since day one.
Which is how many years now? My goodness.
15. This is
unbelievable. That does not happen very often in high school sports to have a unit like that together for so long.
Yeah.
You got to be sick of them by now, right?
No, I love those guys. They might be sick of me, but I don't feel that way. Jed Beauplant. He's been with me since day one. Jeff Gadatis, the same thing. Coach Stone came in, I think, year 2, but for the most part, that was my goal when I was looking to form a coaching staff, and I wanted guys there for the right reasons. Those guys bleed maroon and gold. There's no question about it, and our friendship is a very, very strong friendship outside of coaching as well. So
yeah, you guys still skating with the boys at practice?
Yeah.
And I know some of those practices can get intense, but and of course you got Jetty, who was one of the all-time leading points. So he can skate with those guys.
Second on the scoring list for Newburyport High School.
There you go, unbelievable. Yeah. So it's been a fun ride for the coaching staff. Did you watch the U.S. women's game last night? You eat up all the hockey you can. I know.
I did. It was very happy for them.
Yeah, it was unbelievable game. I hate seeing it end in a shootout, but
that's too bad.
What can you do?
Yeah. I mean, they're both in the same situation.
Yeah,
so. Give those girls all the credit in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a bunch of the boys just walked in, so I don't even know who half these guys are without their uniforms on. So we'll meet a couple of them here in a moment. This is Coach Paul.
I told them they all have faces for radio. So
yes. Well, hey, I know that drill as well, right? So let's talk with a little bit of these guys when they come in too. And I think our boss is in there going, "Who are all these kids that just walked in?" So maybe
I don't know how many are out there.
You put the open invite out, huh? Come on by and get me out of the spotlight.
Would take care of that.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's do this. We'll meet some of these guys too when we get back. Coach Paul Yameen of Newburyport Clippers Hockey, and this is Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio. Keep it here. We will be right back. All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. You just met Coach Paul Yameen of Newburyport Clippers Hockey, putting together a great campaign here as they get ready to finish the regular season and get ready for the state tournament. And, Coach Yameen threw the open invite to get some of the players in here, and Coach speaks. The boys listen because we got like half the team in here now. Hello, boys. How are you?
Good.
All right, let's introduce ourselves. You can just pull the microphone right to you. Tell me who you are, what year you are, and I don't know, say something fun about yourself.
Jacob Grassy Hogg. I'm a junior, and I play hockey and golf.
So you're Grassy Hogg.
Yeah.
You were very strong in the game I called this year. Very good.
My name's Matt Babcock. I'm a senior. I also play hockey and golf.
Hockey and golf, there you go.
I'm Justin Knight. I'm a senior, and I only play hockey.
Okay, very good.
I'm Cole Spence, and I'm a senior, and I play only hockey, but I used to play golf.
There you go. Well, boys, it's funny. It's really hard to recognize you guys without the numbers and stuff. So next time, you just bring the jerseys, and I'll be fine. Actually, don't do that. They probably smell terrible. But what a year you guys are having. It's been a great bounce-back year. We're just talking about it with Coach. Must feel pretty good, huh, knowing you're going to the state tournament, and a lot of work to be done still, but feeling pretty good. Who wants the mic? Just take it and go.
Babs,
So Babcock's the go-to guy on this. All right, good to know.
Yeah, last year was a tough year, but definitely having the year we're having this year makes it a lot better. There's still a lot of work left to be done, but we're having a good year and we're happy with it.
Yeah, is Coach Yameen happy, or is it true he's never happy?
He's been pretty happy this year, but he's... it's nice to see him smiling right now.
He's much more comfortable with you guys on, I think, than although he's one of my favorite radio guests. But so what's been the difference this year? I mean, there was a rough season last year. Obviously, you guys were a bit young, which is paying off this year. But what do you like about this team so much?
I mean, we didn't lose that many guys, so a lot of us are like more experienced than like last year, and like we have a lot of people stepping up this year than last year. So we have a lot of people that like do their own like jobs and like different things, and that like helps us be successful in everyone.
Finally finding the back of the net a little bit, which is nice. There were some droughts there, I remember, last season, so it must be nice to see the puck going in the net.
Yeah, we have a lot of different like goal scorers this year up there.
Yeah, and Justin, you have bounced a little bit from defense to offense and that sort of thing over the years, right? Am I right on that?
I played a little bit of offense like back when I was a sophomore, but since like junior year, I've been back at defense the whole time.
All right, so is that where you're most comfortable?
Yeah.
All right, so coach has put you in the right position. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Very good. What is this a fun group? I mean, it's not too. I mean, I guess we've had some pretty close groups over the years, but there you go, Cole. Why don't you jump in? This is since you're snuggled in the back there.
Yeah, I'd say this is probably the best year of hockey so far because, I mean, we have a lot of juniors and seniors, so we just kind of bond really well.
It's a fun group.
Last year, yeah.
Practice is fun and all that stuff.
It's a lot easier when you're older. When you're a freshman or sophomore.
It is. There's some truth to that, right? I mean, those growing pains of freshman and sophomore years, I mean, those aren't the easiest years, especially if you are playing varsity. It can be a lot in an early age. Now you guys are some veterans and some good leadership. Pretty fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely more fun being older.
There you go. Pull that over when you just make sure we keep you on the mic there. What's the as you get ready for tournament play? I know you got one more game before that. This is what you live for, right? Getting into the one and done thing, state tournament, and I know you're looking to get a win. So what's the key to doing that here this year?
Well, our team's more of like a grinding team, so we go into every game like differently, like with a different game plan, but we always like talk about like defense first, and then that translates to offense. So as long as we play good defense, they'll hopefully find the puck in the back of the net a couple of times.
And you guys, I know you guys have a great home ice advantage at the Graph every time you play. That place is always seems to be rocking Obviously, you don't get that in the state tournament. Is it kind of nice to have that grinding style for tournament play because you don't have to rely on, I guess skill's the wrong word. You guys got plenty of that, but it's nice to kind of be a grinding team. If you put in the effort, you're going to be a tough out no matter what, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If as long as we have like all 3 lines like contribute, like not just like 2 lines going back and forth, I think we could like do some serious damage to other teams.
And you guys seem to be rolling 3 lines this year, right? I mean, not every high school team gets to do that. Even Newburyport in some years has only really had 2 go-to lines, but this year you got a nice solid 3, which is cool.
Yeah, we have a lot of depth this year, which is good, so it makes things a lot easier.
Where's Kenny? Kenny Hodge doesn't show up. We don't get the goaltender.
He's got studying his books, but he has a goalie lesson.
He really is.
So.
He's like the perfect student, isn't he?
Yeah.
Perfect student athlete.
He's like 3 in his class or something.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he's a genius.
Wow. Oh, yeah. I remember Coach Yameen telling me that. It was a little concerning having a goalie that was that smart, right?
Yeah.
So as we, what has been like give me a story behind the scenes story this year? Something that everybody looks at Babcock again. Interesting. What do you got? You got to keep it clean for radio, but what's something we don't know about this Newburyport team this year?
Wow.
This is when Coach Yameen
Cole
gets real
Spence's
nervous.
little brother, who's a freshman, actually had a little wrestling match with Matt Babcock, and he beat him up.
Is that? Well, I have to let you defend yourself. Go ahead, take the microphone.
He's quick on his feet. He's small. He's quick, but once you get a hold of him, he's not very hard to put down.
You know what? I'm not going to ask any follow up to that. I don't want to know anymore. All right, so it's a close locker room. It seems like very good.
Yeah, we're definitely closer than we've been in years past. And it's just a blast having all your friends on the team. We're definitely, I have 4 of my best friends on this team, and there's nothing better than playing with your best friends.
And as upperclassmen too, you soak in every game, don't you? Because the season does. I mean, winter seems a little bit long sometimes, but doesn't the season fly by?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we just started the season last week, and it's really flying by, and especially being my last year playing hockey ever, it's pretty sad. So I've been trying to take in every practice and every game, just.
Yeah, you were playing definitely as a sophomore. Were you there as a freshman too?
Yeah, I was on the team as a freshman, and I played like 3rd line as a freshman.
Yeah, so you've had the whole Coach Yameen experience here. What's it been like playing for these boys? It's a unique coaching staff. These guys. I mean.
Yeah, there's been some ups and downs. I've been on both good sides and bad sides of Coach Yameen. Luckily, right now, I'm on his better side. This year didn't start that way, but...
would you like to contribute, Coach? You're still here.
Definitely nice being on his better side.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever made him upset as the radio guys either. Maybe one call or two, but... speaking of, how's our buddy... Owen Bradbury. I miscalled. Has he mentioned that I screwed up one of his goal calls again?
Yeah, he was talking about it yesterday at practice.
He's still talking about it, yeah. The kid will not let these things go. The Triton game we did, it was my first game of the year for you guys, so I wasn't that, looking through the netting, goal was down the other end. Not as familiar as I have been with you guys in years past, and I gave the goal to Leary, I think, instead of Owen. We did it last year, too. It's really pretty funny, actually. But Owen did not let us hear the end of it last year, and apparently is still talking about it this year. So tell him I'm sorry, will you?
We will. Yeah, we will.
He turned into a bit of a player too, huh?
Yeah. I think he's our 2nd leading goal scorer or something.
Is that right? Second leading? Wow.
Well, he gets a lot of empty net.
Yeah.
He
got 3 empty
netters. He
probably leads the state.
Well, there you go. That makes sense. I remember Coach Yameen, when you guys would come out flat in like a noontime game versus Pentucket or something. We'd always see like him out there and like the first 5 minutes of the game. Well, they need some energy, I guess. But he's another one of those kind of core. It seems like you guys have a lot of personality guys on the team this year, which is kind of cool. Likeable group, I'm guessing, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of different personalities, but it seems like we all have our different role on the team as players as well as in the locker room, and he's definitely a personality guy.
Yeah. Who's kind of the lead by example guy? The guy that, I don't know, maybe some of you guys will get up and stand up and yell something in the locker room if it needs to be said, but who's kind of the guy that is the quiet leader?
Frankie Kearney.
Yeah.
I'd have to say him.
Yeah,
He doesn't play that much, but he's a good locker room guy, so if we're having like a bad period and we go in the locker room, he's the one like always to like step up and speak about like what needs to be done, even though he's like not playing. He still like takes his role as a senior.
That's good. I don't really know him, so that's interesting to hear. That's good, and it's important to have those guys too, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a grind, the hockey season, so you're not always going to have it every night, but you got to find a way, and sometimes those guys are real important.
Yeah, and it's much easier when you have another set of eyes besides the coaches.
There you go. What has been the toughest part for you guys this year? I mean, it seems like I know you guys have put together a great season. Seems like, but anybody who knows hockey knows that it has not been all been pretty behind the scenes. What's been the toughest thing for this year's Newburyport group?
Probably in the beginning of the season, injuries and illnesses.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people sick on the team. It just got passed around, and then I think in the beginning we lost a lot of people with like injuries, and then
we had like 4 missing.
Yeah, 4, and then some got like suspended for a couple games. So we've had.
I'm sure Coach loved that.
Yeah, well, yeah, St. Mary's like kind of.
Yeah.
It was an on-ice suspension.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was a fight.
Coach, make sure to make that clear. Very important. And I won't even ask you what the referee's involvement was in that, Coach. I'm sure. I remember that game, actually, now. I read all about it. Yep, we're not going to ask any follow-ups on that one either. So, I mean, it seems like as it's, it's kind of been 70 degrees yesterday. And look, you guys come over here in the snow today. Practice it every day, 3 o'clock. I know. What's the balance? What's the life balance? You guys doing all right with the homework and the hockey and Coach Yameen being in your ear consistently, or what?
Yeah, well, senior year, I don't have that much homework. Not that I would be doing it anyways.
Don't say those words, senior slide. Do not say the senior slide words. Parents get very angry.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been a pretty good balance. We've had a lot of hard practices, but we get through it, and then we go to the gym and lift. But it seems like we've been getting through it pretty well. Recovery's been nice. Yeah.
How about you boys? You guys doing all right with the balance of school and athletics and all that stuff?
Yeah, I don't have much homework, and I get it all done in school.
I enjoy going to practice every day. We all do. It's not like football where it's like a 2-hour grueling practice. I used to play. Like, we all look forward to going to hockey every day and just working on getting better and like doing what we can to win games.
That's important, right? When you're not dreading going to practice every day, that can make life a little miserable. So I mean, you guys obviously don't know who you're going to play yet in the tournament. Do you care, or do you look ahead at any of that, or is it really mostly just about you guys?
It's mostly just about us. Yeah, we're going to play whoever we play pretty hard, as hard as we can. We've proven that we can play with good teams and beat good teams, so I think that no matter who we play, we'll give ourselves a good chance.
Yeah, I was talking to that right as you guys were walking in with Coach Yameen about how he consistently, and I don't have to tell you guys this, consistently schedules like the gauntlet, just tough teams. You guys have had to play some of the best teams in the state, and I know he wants to play the best, which is just respectable and gets you guys ready for tournament play. But I do wonder, as a player sometimes, is there ever can we have one cupcake game maybe? Like, we'd love to put up an 8 spot on somebody.
Yeah, I mean, those games are fun when you can put up 8 or 9, 10 goals. But I mean, at the end of the season, at the end of the day, they don't really make you a better team. I think even losing to good teams makes you better. Playing good competition, because like you said, that's what we're going to see in the tournament. Probably no cupcake games in the tournament, so playing good teams is definitely. I mean, it's hard when you're playing them and if you're losing, but at the end of the day, it really helps you out.
Yeah. So who's got the tournament experience? I know you do. You had a couple games at the beginning there, those first 2 years. Do any of you guys?
A little bit sophomore year.
A little bit sophomore, but
not much.
Not much. So you probably are a good guy to stand up in the locker room, Matt Babcock, and kind of maybe give these guys a little bit about what it's like, because it is a different feel, right? You go into an arena, the place is packed. There's a certain different intensity. I don't know what it is, but the building always just feels a little bit different when you're talking state tournament time, and every shift is magnified. And you got a speech ready for these boys to try to calm any nerves or whatever. Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, like you said, more intense. It's a different feeling. We try to treat it like it's a regular season game. If you start treating it like it's a different type of game, it's where you start to get off your game and not play the way you guys are used to it. So I think that if we just treat it like a regular season game, that's going to be where we succeed the most.
You remember those first two years, freshman, sophomore year? That probably was a little bit of that, right? You guys were running around a little bit, it seemed, and eventually you find yourselves. But if you get down early, and sometimes it's one mistake, that can cost you.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotions in the beginning of the game. So if you can, if both teams they come out flying, you can wear the other team's emotion and just get through the first 10 or so minutes. and then start to settle into your own game plan, that's where it starts to get real.
Absolutely. And you guys got some, it'd be nice to have some goals. You got some snipers here. Cole, you played one game I saw. You had a really strong game. And I hear a few of you guys have been putting the puck in the net. Kind of nice to have that scoring punch. Be nice to get a lead in a tournament game, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's definitely easier to play with a lead than come from behind. But yeah, we have some snipers. Nick Salvatore ramped the twine the other day. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be nice.
You guys all laughed. What is this? What happened with this goal?
He had a nice celebration after it. So.
Nice celebration.
Yeah, the celebration was very nice. So we give him a.
Does it translate to radio? Can you even explain what he did? Or
he went up to the glass and I guess he went like this a little. So
score was 6-1.
6-1.
It was a massive goal at a 6-1 game. Yes.
I'm gonna score another one.
You just let the crowd know we scored.
There you go. Let's talk about your crowd though for a second. Like I said, I was in the building for that Triton game, which is always a great crowd, but it does seem like for the hockey team more than really anything, the crowd just shows up year after year. Pretty cool playing in front of that fan base, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of fun playing in front of all your friends and everyone the school. So especially with a game like that where everyone's there, it's cool to play and get the win.
And is it Triton? Is that the team you guys most love beating? I mean, I always assume that, but you never know. I mean, there's over the years you have some other rivalries that are kind of built.
Yeah,
but is the Triton rivalry still the one for the hockey squad?
Definitely, it's an in-league rivalry. I mean, obviously we play St. Mary's. We've formed other rivalries with them, Canton and Franklin. But in league, there's nothing better than beating the Vikes. Yeah,
and I was talking to Coach before that. I loved that game because you guys coughed up a lead early. First, it looked like you were going to blow those guys out of the barn. They come back, strong second period, and suddenly you guys are down. And I was thinking to myself, in past years, this is not a great spot for you guys. Might get the heads down a little bit. Third period, bounce right back, take the lead, and get a win. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was definitely a good game. We heard it from Coach in between the second and third periods. He motivated.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about that speech a little bit, will you? Good silence. Yes, we'll move right on. But I know, but it seemed like an effective speech in the intermission. You guys came out flying in the third, and that was a nice win. Is that the best win of the season for you guys so far? I mean, you got a lot of them.
I'd say the St. Mary's one.
Yeah, St. Mary's. Yeah, that was early on.
That was a huge win.
Yeah. Early on the road.
Yeah, we were playing at the new Warrior Center, so it was a different ice surface, a lot bigger.
That's where the Bruins practice.
Yeah, so it was cool to play there, especially, and then get the win. That's what clinched us to the playoffs too, so that was even better.
Cool. What's that like playing on that surface? I haven't been in there yet.
It's a lot better. I mean, the ice was a lot softer, so you had to get used to that.
You don't mean better than the graph.
A little bit better.
You bite your tongue over there.
Yeah, the locker rooms were a little nicer, but yeah, definitely better playing there. It was cool experience.
Any behind the scenes stories of sharing because you and Triton shared the same home ice? That means practice. You guys are seeing a lot of each other, whether it be on practice days or game days. Any unique stories behind the scenes or?
Not really.
We kind of just let each other do our own thing, and
we don't really talk to them that much. They're always
they
after
talk to
us.
Yeah,
They're after us, but
I am always kind of amazed how respectful that rivalry is because literally, folks, for those of you who don't know, the Graph is a small rink and the locker rooms are not exactly luxurious either. So they're right next to each other. I mean, you could if you have a pregame speech that's too loud, you could literally hear the whole thing probably through the walls. Can you hear?
Yeah.
You can. Yeah, you can. Yes. So I don't even know the dynamic of that, but it's an interesting thing being over there at the Graph in that kind of rink. A lot of uniqueness to it.
Yeah.
And as far as as we look ahead here, what's the one thing you guys what's the one tune-up thing you're doing? Final week of regular season here, getting ready for a state tournament. What's been the emphasis in practice?
Probably just being consistent, playing the whole 45 minutes. So we always talk about taking every shift it's your last, and just going out and just playing as hard as you can. You can't give a shift up, especially in the tournament with good teams like that. So you have to play the whole 45 minutes.
Yep. Is that something you guys have learned as veterans too? I mean, you don't even need to be told that anymore, right? You just
hopefully. Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah. Or you lose ice time very quickly. All right, boys, let's do this. We'll take one quick break. We got a few minutes left. We'll I don't know how we'll do this last thing. Maybe we'll get the coach involved for one last segment, but we're flying here. Fastest hour in radio. We got a bunch of the boys from the Newburyport Clippers hockey team ending their season, going to the state tournament I'll have them say their names again in a minute. I didn't write them down. They just showed up here. And Coach Paul Yameen still in the building with us, too. So keep it here. Much more Afternoon Drive when we get back here on Joppa Radio. We'll be right back. All right, welcome on back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. A very fun show here. We could do this for a couple hours, but we only have a few minutes left. So we got the Newburyport Clippers, a fine sample size of the Newburyport Clippers hockey squad in the house here, along with head coach Paul Yameen as they wind down their season and get ready for the state tournament. Coach, we got you back in the fray here. A pretty well-spoken group you got here with these boys. I think you clearly picked wisely as far as who was going to come over here today, so good job. I'm sure they're all like this, though, right?
Oh, yeah, we're all well-spoken.
We were joking earlier about Kenny Hodge. These guys said Kenny Hodge is back doing homework or something. Really, the smart goaltender thing's got to be concerning.
Yeah, I think he's 2 or 3 in his class.
That's what they were saying,
You know, in all my years as the coach here, nothing against the goaltending, but we've never had a goalie that academically excels like Kenny.
Yeah, I remember you said that as soon as he came in as a freshman. I think he's really good, and he's actually really smart. So this is a change for us.
Yes, absolutely.
That's too funny. So
we got a freshman working with us now, Jackson Marshall. What do you guys think? Is he an intelligent kid?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
The goaltenders all have to tick a little bit differently, don't they? And Jackson, I take it Jackson's the guy that's behind me here. Not on the.
Yeah, he's a little too nervous to see on camera.
He's a shy guy.
We'll see you in a couple of years. There. Do you want to come in and wave, Jackson? Here, you can wave from the distance. He's good. All right, there you go. He's behind me somewhere. Trust me.
Now, if his brother was here, it'd be a different story.
yeah.
I think he'd be back here with us.
Who's his brother again? Do I know him? Is he
Jacob Marshall.
Okay.
He's our
Gotcha.
camera guy.
Oh, all right. Very good. Gotcha. Well, that's good. What's the... it must be nice having some of these young guys, too. I mean, do you guys take it upon yourself? I'm thinking you probably do. You know, you played 4 years of varsity hockey. You probably remember some of the upperclassmen that helped you along the way, Matt Babcock. You try to do the same for some of these young guys? Or?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really happy that answer was yes.
In hockey, yes. You know, in school and with our siblings, maybe not. But yeah, in the hockey world, you try to help them out as much as you can because you know that they're going to be there the following years.
Who are some of those names? Name drop a little bit. You remember some of those guys that you kind of stole some stuff from along the way?
Yeah, Matt Kelleher, Ben Ventura, Scott Webster, Tyson. They were all studs when I was a freshman, so took a lot from them, and they definitely helped me improve on every aspect of my game.
A lot of goals in that group you just said, huh?
Yeah.
What's the one thing you learned? Is it mostly off the ice stuff, or is it on the ice stuff that you learned from them?
Definitely on the ice. Everything hockey related, I probably learned from them. Off the ice, not so much.
What's how many of you guys play golf? You two up front play golf.
I do, yeah.
Let's do the names again one more time too, because in case you missed it, run through again with the names just for everybody who.
Jacob Grossi-Hogg.
Matt Babcock.
Cole Spence.
Justin Knight.
And Coach Paul Yameen. We don't need him to introduce himself. You guys played golf.
Yeah.
Golf?
Yeah, freshman year.
Freshman year. So what's more intense, a state tournament game or a 5-foot putt with a match on the line?
Definitely the state tournament game.
5-foot putts, very pressured.
Yeah.
But it's funny that a lot of the hockey guys do play golf too. I know it's obviously hockey though. As far as every hockey I have ever talked to, no matter what the other sports are, they can't wait for hockey season when it comes along. And now you're at the heart of not the heart of the season, but the fun part, the state tournament part. What's the mood like in the locker room? I mean, excited, tense? What's the deal?
Definitely excited. We try not to be tense because that's where you start to fall apart. But yeah, we're all excited. We haven't had none of us on the team right now have had a state tournament win, so we're trying to get our first one and make a good run. So we're excited for that.
What's the speaking of being tense, I know you guys have had some interesting music choices over the years. I remember walking into the Graph and you can hear the music blasting from the locker room. I think one year we had a big Katy Perry thing going on. I looked at Coach and I said, "What is the deal with your team here?" And who's on the music choices this year? Who's controlling the iPod in the locker room?
Patrick Leary. He controls.
Leary, really?
Yeah, he
would not have guessed that.
What?
I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, he
I thought Bradbury.
Has this bump box thing that's huge. It plays very loud. He always plays the music before games.
Oh, okay. It's like a boom box for 90s people.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. All right. Well, what's the playlist? Pre-game playlist.
It's a pretty good mix.
Yeah.
It's
Coach, pretty good mix, yeah.
Rap.
Rap to then we switch to rock and roll.
On that one.
Yeah, we'll stay out of that one. All right. What keep going? What do you got?
I mean, we start with rap, but then as we get close to the game, we have to go to rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
That's
all right.
Brad's.
That's Owen.
Brad's area. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good. What is he like? What's he into?
I don't even know the names of the bands or anything. He just plays it.
He likes that thing.
Yeah.
AC/DC. All right. We can relate to that a little bit, Coach, right? Gets a little bit better. As far as going forward here, so you guys will learn. When will you learn who you play? Next
weekend.
week?
Yeah.
This
Saturday.
weekend? Saturday? Yeah. So what's that like as a, I mean, you watch the March Madness guys for basketball, they make a whole show out of it now, and look at the reactions. Are you guys like together as a team, or is it kind of, you really don't care? It's going to be a team on the schedule, let's see who we play and drop the puck and go.
Yeah, we're excited to see who we play, but it really doesn't make a difference. We're not going to make a big deal out of it. We're just going to, once we figure it out, we'll practice a certain game plan and stick to it.
Coach, we got to meet all these guys here a little bit today. It's a good group. I like these guys. You guys, the basketball team, I liked a real lot. We had 4 of those guys come in. I think you guys matched up pretty well here. This is good. Do you guys like the basketball guys?
Yeah.
Talk to each other in the hallways?
Yeah, they support us. We support them as much as we can. So.
That's good. Good answer. Coach, say a little nice thing about each one of these guys. What strengths and, you know what, go for weaknesses if you want. I don't care. Coughing during a radio interview, there's a weakness. Just kidding, Cole. Send the mic his way, will you?
I'll say, first I'll say that I'm happy for these guys.
Yeah.
They've had a good year. They've worked hard. They've earned it. They're in a good spot right now. We still have 1 game to go, but we can certainly, if we win the game, I think it puts us in a good position. So I look forward to tomorrow. Right, tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. We look forward to it tremendously. I think if I could, one word about these guys, resilient.
Nice.
That's what I'll say. Resilient.
There you go. We saw a little bit. You said you played behind in a lot of these games this year. Any idea how many out of all those wins?
I don't. At times we tend
Feels
to start
like every
slow.
game?
I don't know what it is. We tend to start slow at times, but we've been behind, and we've shown that we're capable of coming back, and I think that's a tribute to their character and the resilience that they've shown all year. So hopefully they have a little more of that in them, and I think they're fired up for this. Matthew just said it. These guys haven't experienced a tournament win, so. Not to say that we haven't played well enough to win, but it's just the way it is in the tournament.
Is there anything, you guys seem to roll out machines of teams every year. You guys, everybody knows every year Newburyport will be a tough test, but anything about this group different than groups of years past? Maybe it's something unique about every team, maybe? Or.
Well, I'll say this about these guys. I don't think I've had a team, or I don't like using the word we, a coaching staff, had a team play in the environments that this team has played in. Yeah. Again, we talked about the Heinz game and that type of environment and what you need to know to be ready to play in that game. And it took us a year to get there. The first year we didn't compete. We just weren't ready. And they're tough enough to play as it is. So, that one, and I think about going down to Franklin and playing them down there, it's always a tough game. And we go to Winchester, we play down there, it's a tough game. And, at St. Mary's. So I'll say this for these guys, that they should feel as though they're ready for anything. We shouldn't shy away from anything right now. We've played in as many tough environments that any team in the state has played in. So we're battle tested, and I'm looking forward to it.
There's a little bit of your pregame speech, I think, right there. You got a little insight from Coach Yameen. Well, very good. I mean, we'll all be excited to watch you boys get the state tournament underway. Of course, still 1 more game for us, Andover. Nice little actually test for you guys there right before the state tournament. Worked out pretty well, having a good tough test right before the tournament.
And look at that game and what's gone on with Andover in the past month. So they're playing with a lot of emotion. They showed it on Tuesday night. We watched them play St. John's of Shrewsbury. They're playing with a lot of emotion. So we need to match that. We look forward to it.
It'd be a bad job by me not to ask you, actually, since we just talked about Andover. I won't ask you to get into details, but I know you've referenced the coaching situation there, and obviously it was in the news everywhere. Coach Kuchar is back on the bench, and good for him. I think a lot of us who knew him are happy to see him back on the bench. But I mean, chaos during the year. I know you're a no chaos guy. We don't need any extra drama, right? There's enough in the hockey game, but that's going to be a tough season on a coach.
Well, yeah, I don't think people understand the intangibles that go into a season.
Yeah.
There are many intangibles that go into a season, and a lot of outside influences that are part of a season. And to see him go through what he went through is unfortunate and disappointing. From a person that has a family, to see a guy have to go through what he went through. He has 2 young boys at home. you know, it was all over the news. He has news trucks in front of his house. I mean, just not right.
Yeah,
not right.
Well, it certainly is a different coaching environment. I'm sure you've seen all sorts of changes in your tenure. I know you've talked a little bit with me about him off the air, but whether even just like little things like social media and all that stuff, just all these little.
It's just another intangible you got to deal with, you know. And
you don't have a Twitter account yet, do you?
I do not. I do not. Well, I do not. No. And I probably never will. No Facebook, no Twitter, whatever you want to call it. No,
I think I'd put my money on.
I'm content with my cell phone.
Yes. There you go.
My flip phone.
Yeah, you're getting better with this cell phone, by the way.
Not really.
Yeah, I know.
My daughter helps me, and my son helps me.
I was trying to be nice. All right, boys. Final minute here. Let's go across. Do the names one more time and say. Why don't you make a pitch to everybody come out and see Newburyport in the state tournament here in a week or two or whenever.
Yeah. So we have our first game next week. So whoever we're playing, we're gonna play hard against, and so. As long as we get like the first one, I think we'll be fine after that. It just takes the first win, then hopefully we'll be rolling through the playoffs.
Shaky grassy hog right there. Matt Babcock.
I think this is a year of first for this team. We've beaten a lot of teams. We've played. We beat St. Mary's for the first time this year as a team. And I think this is going to be the year that we win a playoff game. So I think this is a game to go to if you're trying to see a good game.
Game and games, right? Cole Spence.
Yeah. So. All fans, I hope you guys come out for the big game. We're trying to make a run in the playoffs and see what happens.
Justin Knight.
We're an older team.
Coach doesn't like this. He wants one game at a time. We got Andover first.
We got a bunch of seniors. We all know in the back of our head if we lose, that's it for us. So all of us seniors are going to be giving everything we got. Hopefully the rest of the team does the same, and hopefully we make a run at it.
There you go. And with Coach Paul Yameen. I know. Go ahead. Say Andover. One game at a time. Good for you.
We look forward to Andover.
Good for you, Coach. Well, hey, great group. This was fun, boys. It goes by fast, right?
Yeah.
It's all over. That's it.
They're always welcome here. They know that. You graduate here, you play here, you're always welcome here.
That's right. We got alumni on some days, too. So that's going to do it, folks. There is your little meet of the Newburyport Clippers hockey team before the state tournament really kicks into gear. But Justin, we get away from the camera. We get the pom-pom in the camera. Good job. He's a tall boy who's standing in the background. But that's going to do it here for this week's show. Go out and see Newburyport first Andover, and then in the state tournament. They're a good take, trust me. Thank you, boys, for coming in. It was fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you to everybody on the stream, and we'll see you back here next week, Tuesday. Have a good weekend. 3 o'clock next Tuesday. We'll have some more fun guests. My name is Drew Moholland. Big thanks to Elias Campanella Garcia. Did I get it? Almost. Sorry. We'll do it better next time. He's the new guy. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.